Hello students, let's get back to the next subheading, which is World Trade Organization. Remember in the previous section we had talked about powerful international organizations playing an active role in ensuring that the trade is liberalized. So just like UN, right? And then very importantly, World Trade Organization is that that very powerful international organization, okay? And the motive to liberalize for liberalization of foreign trade and investment, okay? So so what they say, what WTO, World Trade Organization, what do they say is that they say that all barriers to foreign trade and investments are harmful. Okay, and they say that there should be no barriers and that trade between countries should be free. All right, so this is what they say, it should be free. Okay, and they push on this, that all countries in the world should liberalize their trade policies. Now this is interesting. Right? Eugene, now what we need to ask is this really the voice of World Trade Organization, WTO koi voice ho, ya fir is there somebody else? Is it somebody else doing this? You have to understand that these powerful UN different bodies are very much supported even financially by many of the developed countries, okay, many of the developed countries. So you have to understand ki WTO, how was it formed? It was an initiative of the developed countries. So our developed countries नै start गरेको भने पनि it is highly probable that their intention will be that whatever policies are made through WTO will benefit the developed countries. यो त एउटा common sense भनौँ न है, जस्तो नै हो. So now what we see is that now because these international bodies are so powerful that there are by now I think more than 160 countries who are actual members of WTO, all right? And again, they work towards liberalizing the international trade, okay? And so basically, WTO, what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to allow free trade for all, okay? And but what has been reality ke cha? Is there free trade for all? Reality is quite different. What we see is that developed countries like धेरै benefit गरेको छ and other countries like developing and underdeveloped countries like धेरै साह्रो परेको छ. All right, so it is not जुन प्रकारले उनीहरूले it has to be free भन्छ, it is not all that free in reality. All right, so developed countries have unfairly retained trade barriers. So what this means is that the WTO, through this powerful international organization, they are literally forcing countries, developing countries and other poorer countries to liberalize their trade. Timo trade barrier hatau, tax hatau, yo gara, tyo gara. They are making their countries open. All right, the developing and the underdeveloped countries. Tara, the developed countries themselves, afno trade barriers, they've retained it, they've not given it up. All right, and here WTO is not forcing the developed countries. The WTO is forcing the developing countries to remove trade barriers and not the developed countries. Okay, so yahanira auta tapailai yo particular box ma they have given you this debate on trade practice management, especially focusing on ke bhन्छ agriculture. Okay, so again, if you all do not have your book open, by the way, don't just listen to it, you must have your books and your copies open as the lesson goes on. So here what we see is that the question they have raised is that just the key, what happens in the US, right? US ma chai kati jana manchele ke bhन्छ farming garcha. What is the GDP from agriculture भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ the share US चाहिँ खाली 1% मात्रै भन्दैछ from agriculture. But what happens is that these farmers, it's एकदमै कम्ती people छ farming गर्ने, and these very little less farmers they get massive amounts of money, a lot of money from the government. Okay, so government ले चाहिँ के गर्दैछ, उनीहरूलाई के भनेको छ कि they are supporting them financially. All right, so agriculture गर्नेहरूलाई चाहिँ पुरा financially they are supporting. And now what is happening is, as per the WTO को अब उनीहरूको rules, उनीहरूको focus गर्दाखेरि developing countries मा चाहिँ यो भनेको छ कि do not support your farmers भनेको रहेछ. Okay, they have told that you have asked our governments to stop supporting our farmers, but you are doing so yourselves. So WTO developing countries do not support your farmers, whereas developed countries, what they are doing, they are really supporting their farmers way beyond what is needed. Now these US farmers don't have a problem selling their crops at a very low price. Abnormally low price. Abnormally low price na पनि उनीहरूले बेच्दा US farmersहरूलाई फाइदै भइरहेको छ. Their farm products are being sold, and imagine now all these farm products, they are sold, and what, they are commercial farmers. And जति पनि farmersहरू छ US मा, they are commercial farmers. हाम्रो जस्तो subsistence farmersहरू छैन. So they are commercial farmers, and now this यसले गर्दा when US को commercial farmersहरूले चाहिँ एकदमै सस्तो price मा they are selling it, that means they are selling it to the other countries, भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ their low price is affecting the farmers of the other countries, because our farmers cannot sell their crops as cheap as they can. All right, so developing countries are therefore asking, okay, there's a question being raised to the developed country, governments of the developed country, that we have reduced the trade barrier as per WTO rules, and reduce, correct, so whatever you've told, we've listened to it, but you yourselves have ignored it. The developed countries have ignored the rules of WTO, and you're continuing to help your farmers, to pay your farmers huge sums of money. And is this fair? Is this free trade? भन्ने एउटा debate, एउटा question चाहिँ यहाँनिर raise गरिएको छ. All right. So again, keeping in mind, हामीले, we already know, हामीले पहिला पनि पढिसकेको छ क्लासमा, that MNCs, multinational corporationsहरू चाहिँ, they have a lot of money, and we've also understood that not only money, but they have power, they have influence, and to the extent they have so much of money and power that they can influence the policies of the government, of the different उनीहरूको आफ्नै government पनि, at the same time उनीहरूको अरू countriesको governmentलाई पनि influence गर्ने power they have. Why? Because they are too wealthy, MNCs, right? So further, we'll try to understand in the next part. So WTO को through बाट हामीले हेर्यो कि these international bodies पनि कस्तो रहेछ, biased रहेछ. They are supporting and they are favoring and they are very lenient to the developed countries, whereas developing countries चाहिँ they are forced to उनीहरूको रुल्सहरू follow गर्नु चाहिँ force गराएको छ. Alright, now in this situation, what is the impact like of globalization, right? Globalization भन्दा a lot of times हामीलाई खाली globalization is good, globalization is the best thing, हैन भन्ने टाइपको पाराले बनाउँछ, but really is that the truth? We have to question ourselves. अनि हामीले यो भेटाउँछौँ कि that no, there are a lot of dark and gray sides to globalization also, okay?